Hello, I'm Endo. Welcome back to another exciting video. Today, I am doing a mod. Not because I'm going to be doing mods, but because I'm working on the Convoy add-on with Char Lizard, and I wanted a mod to do some special sound effects. So since I had to learn it, I thought I'd share it with you. So I'm going to walk you through making a custom buzzer sound effect block. Okay, we're going to start off by just setting up the mods. So if you go to your Internet Explorer and you do %appdata %/Stormworks and hit enter, it will bring you to this directory that I'm already in. And so you're going to want to go into data. And if there's not a mods folder, MODS folder, you want to create that. Okay. And I'm just going to jump into mine and you're going to see. So now we're going to jump into my mods folder, which I already started working on some mods. So we have these. And so each mod has a folder, right? So I'm going to cheat and go to my sample folder here. And in the sample folder, I'm going to copy these. So you need a mod file, a mesh directory, a graphics directory, and an audio directory. Now, you don't need the directories if you're not going to use them, but it's easier just to copy them so you have them somewhere. So I'm going to keep them in my sample. I'm just going to copy these. And then I'm going to come in here. I'm going to make a new folder called buzzer _mod. Okay, it can be anything, but that's what I'm going with. I'm going to jump into it and I'm going to paste those files. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to create an audio directory if you don't have one already, and you're going to want to create a mod.xml. Now let's open this mod.xml.up, and here you can see that I already kind of filled out, but you can name it whatever you want. So we can name it buzzer mod. That's how it's spelled, mod. Buzzer mod. And you can put your name Endo, and you can say, used for tutorial. Yay! Wow, that's great. So there we have that. So let's go ahead and save it. And now I have that set up. So next up is, what do we want to create? We want to create a buzzer that's custom. So we have to go into the Stormworks directory and find that file. So now you go to your Steam library and then your Steam apps, common, Stormworks, ROM, data, definitions. And once you're here, you will see all these lovely XML files. So we're looking for the buzzer, and there it is. I'm going to copy this, and we're going to go back to our mod directory. And then we're going to create a directory called data, because I forgot to do that. And then we're going to go into data, and then we're going to create a directory called definitions. Definitions. Then we're going to click into definitions, and we're going to right click and paste the buzzer XML. Okay, here is the trick. If you allow the buzzer XML file to be named buzzer XML file, it will overwrite the sound effects when you enable the mod and load your game, right? So if you want to overwrite any component in the game, like if you're doing a mod and you want to overwrite a component, you leave the file name alone and it will overwrite whatever component you're using. So if you're like overwriting a throttle with a sound effect, it will overwrite the vanilla, the default, that is, the default throttle in the game, and it will use your mod. However, we don't want to do that. We want to keep our original buzzer sounds that we have in the game, the vanilla buzzer sounds, and we just want to add a new buzzer. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and rename this, and we're just going to call it custom audio. Wow, that's a great name, I'm going to tell you. All right, so now we have that. So now we're going to open up this file, and we're going to see a mess here. Okay, there's no way around it. It's a mess. You could probably wrap this. I don't think that actually helps, does it? So we can wrap this, and that's going to just help us see everything on the screen at the same time. This is Visual Studio Code, and PC users can download it for free. And it's really good for just, writing your code. It has extensions for Lua and stuff like that. So I'll link to it below if you want it. But anyways, you can use WordPad if you wanted to. Not a big deal. All right, so there's a few things to know about this file before you change anything for your custom buzzer. And I'm going to show you one thing. So if we jump into the Stormworks editor, and if we click on a buzzer, we have warning, it makes that sound, of course. We have warning 2, makes that sound, etc. You know how this works. You've played with Stormworks. So what's interesting, like if we go back here to ship bell, okay, see how it's spelled ship bell? I thought that we were going to be able to change the names here. So warning one, I thought I could type in, you know, my effect, whatever. Okay. And what's interesting is these seem to be hard coded. You can't change the names. So if I try to change the name and then use the buzzer inside of Stormworks, it will crash the game, like to desktop. So you cannot do that, unfortunately. So you cannot have custom names yet. Maybe they'll change this, but right now they seem to be hard coded. You can change the definition name buzzer to, like, you know, buzzer, buzzer. Let's call it custom effect. Okay. And you can change that. That's fine. You can also add to the tags. So we can add a tag called custom, and that will show up. So those are good things that you can change. Okay. Another thing you can change, which is really, really useful, because I was making the hydrophone, and you can do the outer range. Now, I don't think, at least I never knew, that each of these sound effects that we had in the game had a different range. So like this one right here, a warning signal, has a range of 30, and I guess a minimum of 2 meters. But like the air horns have a range of 300. I didn't know that there was actually a way to like change these. I don't know if we could always change them if we edited this file or not, probably, but I didn't know that. So that's kind of cool. Also, it's worth noting that some sound effects, you can have a start sound, a loop sound, and then an end loop sound. And some of these, you know, use it for like starting the horn sound, and then the horn, you know, drones on in a loop. And then when you let go of the button or whatever, the horn does the end sound effect. So you can have that, and those are optional. And then you can do, I don't know what sound effects gain is. I'm guessing that's a amplification, maybe. I don't know. Didn't play with that yet. And then we have loops down start and loop blend. So you can kind of like blend sound effects into stuff. Haven't played with these. Don't know what they do. You guys might come up with some interesting effects by playing with these things, but they're interesting. And also we have this down here where we have the ability, it looks like, to layer sounds. So for some reason they're using 3 bell sounds, which I tried to hear it in the game. Like if we go to the bell, what is this? Bell ship? Listen to this. So that's what it sounds like. And if we go into the sound directory and we play the same file, it sounds the same to me. It doesn't seem like it's really using the layering for bell 1, 2, and 3. Watch. Okay, there's that. Maybe a little bit? I don't know. It doesn't sound super layered to me. Maybe that was just them testing to see what they could do. But yeah, not apparent to me. But maybe you guys can come up with some kind of use for that. All right, so anyways, going back here. So there's these options that you can use. So you can, like, you know, you can change the ones that you have here. You can change the effects and stuff like that, but you cannot change the name, and you cannot add a new entry. So you couldn't take like this klaxon right here, copy it, and then paste it in and then have an additional sound effect. You can't do that. You can't add to this file. If you do, even if you change the name or like maybe put klaxon 3 here, which I tried, in the game, when you load the mod, it will not show up. Only the default sound effects. So this seems kind of like a limitation of the buzzer, like they've hard-coded it into the system. And what makes me say that is if we go back to, where is it at? We go back to the bell ship sound effect here. You'll see the sound effects names are bell ship, bell ship, bell ship. There's no other entry here in this file for ship bell. And I even looked at the audio files thinking, well, maybe they're embedded into the audio files, but I could not find ship bell inside of these files. And I couldn't find any way to define the name. But if we look in the game, ship bell is how they put the name. It actually says ship bell. So train bell, and I think train bell is bell train 1, bell train 2. See, so I don't know, unless there's a file that I don't know about, I don't know how they are naming these things inside of this selector. So I think it has to be hard-coded, which is really weird, but I think it is. So anyways, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and make our custom sound. Sorry to get sidetracked, but I wanted you to know about that because it's really weird. So yeah, you can't change the name. So we're going to leave the name alone. And then you're going to see that here we have a directory, and we have audio, FX3, Stormworks, warning alarm. Okay, so we're going to kill that. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change it to, let's call it, I don't know, custom. We'll just do custom. And we need a sound effect, right? We need a sound effect. So let's go over back to our directory here. I'm going to grab actually the one I'm working on. So let's grab the sound effect. And let's go back to mods. And remember, I have old sound effect mods, so ignore that part. But find your sound effect and place it in to the directory. We're going to call it custom and go ahead and paste it in there now. But if you wanted to have different sound effects you could keep track of, you might want to have, a folder called beeps. You might want to have a folder called alarms. I don't know, whatever. But we're just going to use a custom one, and we're going to be using this file right here that is my prop. So let's just copy this name. And then we'll come over here and we'll see that we have audio custom. And then we're going to do the OGG file like that. And I'm just going to show you this. So we're going to put this to a range of 5. Okay. And I want to show you that you can change this, which is great. So just to recap before we test this, you cannot change the name of the file. You can change the range of which you hear the sound. You can probably change this. We haven't tested it, but we'll see what happens. And you can give yourself a start file sound effect, a looping sound effect, and an end sound effect. You can also probably change these settings for start loop time, loop blend, but we haven't played with that. We also have pitch fade speed and volume fade speed. Haven't touched those things, but something you might want to work with if you're creating custom sound, because I am only doing this for the sake of the Convoy add-on for a hydrophone. So I will probably play with those later, but for right now, we're just going to go ahead and get this working. So let's go ahead and hit save. So let's just recap the mod directory. So remember, it goes into the app data roaming Stormworks data mods directory. You create a mod directory. You need the mod XML. You need the audio directory for your custom audio. You need the data, definitions, and then the buzzer XML that you're going to edit, or whatever other XML you're going to edit. And then that is your structure. That's all the mod is. Okay. So once we have that, we're going to go ahead and restart Stormworks. Okay. We're going to hit new game. Everybody likes 30,000 for the seed for some reason. Custom. I'm going to go ahead and disable add-ons. So then we're going to enable mods, and then we're going to find our buzzer mod. So these are my old mods. And this is the one we created, buzzer mod. So we're going to enable it just like that. And then we're going to start our new game. Okay. And I have this tester here. Let's see. I think, is this the old version? That's wrong. One of these is wrong. One of these is right. Let's see. Yeah, this is wrong. Okay. So let me redo this. So this is a blinker. I'm going to go to the capacitor. I'm going to put the on switch in there, and then I'm going to find our buzzer. So we can type in custom, and you can see that it comes up because we tagged it as a custom. So if we click on it, it'll say buzzer mod or whatever we named it. And then we can change the description. Actually, we didn't do that inside the file, but we can change the description to say, oh, it has alarms or whatever. And then we can go ahead and drag this down. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here, and then we're going to hook this one, yes, the capacitor, to this. Then we're going to come over here. You can see that we're going to have our default sound effects for warning 2, because we didn't overwrite that file and it's still using that path. And then we're going to have our warning, which is our custom sound effect, right? Okay. You will see if we type in buzzer, we still have our original buzzer, so we didn't overwrite it. So if we hadn't renamed it buzzer mod, it would have overwrote this file and we'd only have one buzzer here. So you do, if you want your custom sound effect to be separate from the original game, you're going to want to rename that XML file. Okay. So now we've got this hooked up, and I happen to know that this sound file is 9 seconds. So in order for me to loop it over and over again, so I don't have to push a button or anything like that, we go ahead and we set our blinker to 4.5 on and off 4.5, and that equals 9 seconds. And then we have our discharge time, 9 seconds, and our charge time 0. So the way that works, the capacitor will take 9 seconds before it fires again. And then once it fires again, the blinker on will be 4.5. And then once this blinker ends, then it turns off for 4.5 and restarts again. So that's how I got it to loop inside the game, if I remember right. Could be wrong, but you know, that's a side thing if you want to know how to do that. But let's go ahead and test it. Now, we have it set to 5 meters. So right now it should be playing. Let's make sure that we have our sound effect, our sound effects all the way up. Don't hear anything. We're going to start walking towards it. Closer, 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 closer. It better work. Closer, closer, closer. What did I forget? What did I forget? I forgot infinite electricity. Da, 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 da. Okay, there we go. Now let's listen. Okay. Closer, 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 closer. And finally, watch. Should hear it start coming in. There it goes. Okay. So this is like 5 meters away. If I step back, cuts off. I'm going to get closer. It's going to get louder. There we go. Ta-da! And if that drives you crazy, we can just back up. So what you can do is you can create each custom sound effect to have a different range. So that's really good for me because in the Convoy add-on, this is my hydrophone sound effect of listening to a convoy ship coming into range in the submarine, right? So what happened is with the default buzzers, I had done a add-on to just replace, you know, just by dropping in files and replacing the buzzer sounds. And I didn't know about that range thing. So everything that we had was like 30 meters or 300 meters, depending on which one I overwrote. So you would be over here in a convoy ship above the water, say, and you could hear the submarine picking you up. But now I can go ahead and make that custom buzzer. And now only the hydrophone guy is really going to be listening to the sound effect. Like the guy, if he's back here on the conning tower, looking at for convoy ships, he doesn't have to hear that sound effect. Only the dude that has to listen to the hydrophone. So very cool. I'm really excited about that. So anyways, since I was putting together a custom mod for the Convoy add-on, I thought that I'd share with you what I learned. Hopefully we can change the names. That would be really nice to change the names inside the file. But for now, you know, we can change the custom sounds and they don't overwrite the vanilla ones, and we can upload them to the workshop. And hopefully if it works right, I can add my custom sounds to a server. And then when everybody connects to play the Convoy add-on, we will all download the files and be able to play together without having to ask you to install the custom sound effects, because I was worried before the mods came out that we would be doing a Convoy event and I'd be like, oh, you know, make sure you install the propeller sounds, because if you don't, you're going to hear honks and horns and alarm bells and everything, because, you know, if you didn't overwrite your default audio files, you know, you're going to hear horns. So now, repeating myself for the 100th time and being super excited, we have a Convoy event. You connect, it downloads the sounds, and we're all listening to the same sound effects. And if Rowan gets his mod set up, or, you know, the visuals, you know, we can have the water out there be darker, and everyone is getting the same effect. So nobody has an advantage by not installing the mods, because the mods will be installed when you connect to the server. So that's super exciting. And remember, these are just all preview mods that we're going to be looking at, but officially Stormworks mods will be supported on November 20th with the stable update release. So very exciting. Thanks to Geometa for adding this feature. It's been a long road to finally get here, but it's so worth it, I think. I mean, I know there's going to be really crappy mods that are, you know, infinity this, infinity that, and maybe some dumb mods and that add, I don't know, penis windshield wipers, who knows. But yeah, we won't be looking at those. But for you guys that are creating mods, ping me anytime, and I'll be highlighting the mods. So we'll be doing that, because I've been waiting for mods forever. And I'm excited. And so is the Stormworks modding forum, which you can go down below in the description and join now and learn more about how to do the mods, because I've been doing them for like 3 years now. So if you need help with your mod, go to the link below, Stormworks Modding Forum. Just say, hello, I need help with my mod, and somebody will help you. And if they're rude, let me know and I'll call them out, because if I'm pointing you in their direction, hopefully they're actually nice to you. I'm sure they are, but just in case. Anyways, I'm Indo. If you're new here, welcome and consider subscribing. If you're not new here, let me know if you like the video by clicking like. Let me know if you hate the video by clicking dislike. And, of course, leave comments. And that is it. And also, if I didn't explain something clearly or you're having trouble, just let me know and I'll answer your question in the comments if I did not explain something with this mod. I think I got all the bases, but, you know, let me know. But there you go. I will see you next time. Have a great day. I'm going to be checking out more mods, so expect more videos to drop. All right, I'll see you later.